Welcome back, Minties, to another episode of Near Mint Condition. Today, I'm going to show you my first haul of the year. This is for January of 2019, so please stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, I want to look at what I called the Ollies pile. If you remember a couple of episodes ago, probably at the beginning of the month, Amanda and I took a trip to the different Ollies here in Kentucky. So we got some books for pretty cheap. So let's look at some of these. This is Quicksilver, the trade paperback that came out right around the time that Kurt Busiek was on his run of Avengers. So this is art by Jeff Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, and written by John Ostrander and Tom Payer, if I recall right. But anyway, this is a series I never picked up, and it crossed over into one of the Magneto books, if I'm not mistaken, too. So I never got to read any of this stuff. And being that I'm the X-Men guy, I kind of always wanted to read it. Speaking of X-Men guy, I did read all this stuff, and it was not that great. Other than the awesome artwork, good lord, this guy should be designing video games if he's not already. This is X-Force. This is after the Uncanny X-Force run and the Cable and X-Force book by Hopeless, and I can't remember who the other writer was. Maybe it was Spurrier, because he's the one that wrote this. But yeah, wasn't a fan of this book, and X-Force, whatever. Completist. Speaking of completist, Origin 2, the sequel to Origin, because we demanded it 10 years ago. But hey, whatever, better late than never. Paul Jenkins doesn't do anything with this, and it is art by one of the Kubert brothers. It is Adam Kubert this time around instead of Andy. And it is Kieran Gillen. He does the writing for this, and this was okay at best. That's about as nice as that could be, but it's a hardcover. It's Wolverine, my favorite character, and it was also $7, so what the hell, you know? It is oversized, though, so it's taller than the trades. It's taller than the normal standard size hardcovers. I'll show you here in a second. Here it is compared to the Rebirth Deluxe hardcover. It's tall. Next up is JLA Year 1. This is the hardcover. Another Ollie. All these are Ollie's buys, by the way. And this is a book I got rid of when it was in trade paperback because I thought, hey, they'll end up releasing it in some kind of collection one day. It'll be in an omnibus because there's no way that they're not going to put this in a JLA Grant Morrison omnibus. So I got rid of this about 13 years ago when I first started getting huge into trades and try to stop from double dipping. Well, shit, I've been wrong because they still have not given us a Grant Morrison JLA omnibus, and we still don't have a proper collection of those Justice League books, other than the hardcovers, which are missing some issues, and then the trade paperbacks, which are also missing some stuff. Damn it, DC. And I'll talk about that DC here in the next coming video with my upcoming buys of the month of February. And here is some of the artwork here by, I believe it's Barry Kitson that did all of this. Written by, of course, Mark Waid and Brian Augustin. Now here's a series I never did get to finish and really excited to read. Thought that was actually scuffs, but it's part of the book. This is the 12, and this collects all 12 issues along with the Spearhead issue. This is all by JMS and Chris Weston. So this is a series I really got into huge on a monthly basis. Then it went on a huge hiatus, and they brought it back. It's kind of like their JSA Golden Age stuff, but I really, really liked it, and I never got to finish it. So it was one of those books that just flew under my radar. Never got to pick it up, so glad I found it at Ollie's. And the final book I picked up that I'm so happy I found, because it's another one of those books I've always meant to get. I've never read. I haven't even cracked this open up until now. It's Camelot 3000, the deluxe edition. You can tell this is Brian Boland's beautiful artwork and written by Mike W. Barr. Just looking at the inside makes me excited to read this. God bless. I miss that man's artwork. Now, sadly, I heard something bad about him, that he was going blind, maybe. So he doesn't do hardly anything anymore. I could be wrong, so if somebody in the comments knows, please correct me. Here's a little more of his artwork. Yeah, this is the guy that did The Killing Joke, and he's a British artist, so he's one of my favorite artists, and he did a lot of cover art too. And let's move on. I went to a local convention here in Kentucky, and I met Marv Wolfman, and I'm an idiot. I already bought this issue many years ago, And I sold it, then I bought it again, probably about 15 years ago, and then I sold it again, only to buy it again. Damn it, but to have Marv Wolfman sign it, and hoping to meet George Perez in C2E2. And here we have Incredible Hulk Epic Collection. This is number 22. This is Ghosts of the Future. This collects Peter David's run again. Starts off with Savage Hulk number 1, which is like a Premiere magazine size book. And it collects Incredible Hulk issues 436 through 448. And Cable number 34, which is a crossover event leading up to the Onslaught. Speaking of Onslaught, that's also collected in here. The Marvel Universe Onslaught book. And Cutting Edge number 1 is all collected in here. This has returning characters from the Imperfect Future storyline that he did with George Perez. So here's the Cable book, 34. Yeah, this is the fight with Hulk, and drawn by Ian Churchill. And then we have Angel Medina, who took over the reign of Hulk. And let's look a little bit more through here. Here's that Marvel book that is collected just about everywhere. I swear I own that in so many trades and hardcovers. Just a little more pages. Yeah, this is Mike Deodato Jr.'s art. So he eventually takes over the book. And it's right before the Thunderbolts appear. So we don't get the first appearance of the Thunderbolts, but hopefully they'll get a few more. I'm not sure why we don't have any omnis of those books yet, but, you know, at least we're getting these. I'm surprised we don't have any epics of the already Hulk Visionary books that were released a few years ago. Here is Harley Quinn, Volume 3. Here's the dust jacket. Now let's look at the book. And that is Frank Cho's variant cover. Let's crack this open. And so this deluxe hardcover collects Harley Quinn issues 28 through 42 of the Rebirth run. So I believe this is the last of Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmianti's run. And I think Frank Terry takes over the book afterwards. I haven't read much of this stuff. So I actually just finished Volume 2 the other day. So I'm caught up with at least the deluxe hardcovers. Now, there have been no further deluxe hardcovers for Harley Quinn announced, but given that the character's popularity is huge enough to have a... Is this old lady Harley? It is. Enough to have a Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey movie coming out, I guess we'll be seeing some more collections. Yep, this is Old Lady Harley. At least it's one issue and not 35 issues. And here's all the variant covers by the wonderful Frank Cho. Here we have Nightwing Volume 3, another one of the deluxe hardcovers that I was talking about. Let's look what the inside looks like. So it's this art right here. I couldn't wait to dive into this. I've already been reading it. This collects Nightwings 29 through 43. It's the remaining of Tim Seeley's run, and also features writing by Sam Humphries. So Tim Seeley does a really good job of wrapping up some of the stuff he even started with Grayson and the Rebirth run that he did. And I'm really happy with the way that it ended. So the way that he wrapped it up, leaving other writers to come in to do their own thing. Now, this is also the last volume I see solicited so far, and I don't know if there will be any more of the DC hardcovers of Nightwing as well. Hopefully, you know, because I love these collections. I'm a huge fan of these oversized hardcover books. And here is Universal War 1. This is a book I just kind of did a blind buy on, basing on how much people rave on about it. No idea what the plot's even about. No idea who the creative team is. Dennis Bahram. So, yeah, really excited to dive into this. I have no idea what this book is. I bought it from one of the Facebook groups. So my boy James Darrett hooked me up with a good deal on this. And this book right here, Hector Umbra. Another book that I've heard a lot of good things about that I have not read. But flipping through it, I kind of dig this artwork. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Michael Oeming's art. I like the use of colors, and I like the use of shadows that this artist does. Having never read this and not knowing what it's about, this is exciting because I'll... You know, after 35 years of reading comics, hardly anything surprises you anymore when it's out. But I've heard good things about these two books, so really excited to read both of them. And if you're interested in the Ben Reilly Omnibus Volume 1, I did do an overview of that on the channel as well. So check that out by clicking on the link above. And moving on. Next up is the Guardians of the Galaxy hardcover Volume 4. Yeah, I bought this at the convention that I went to. The Frankfurt Con, where Amanda, Maddie, and myself went to, and got this for $12. This is the Brian Michael Bendis book. This is the one right after the Omnibus, and I seriously doubt that there's going to be an Omnibus Volume 2 of his run, so that's why I went ahead and got this, and it was at the discounted price of 12 bucks. So let's look through here real quick. This is collecting issues 1 through 10, and there's one more volume to finish out his run before he takes off and leaves for DC eventually. That's right, Kitty Pryde becomes Star-Lord, and then the Thing is now part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because whatever Bendis wanted to do, Bendis got. Does have some beautiful artwork though. And since I am a completist, and I also am not the biggest fan of Bendis, especially his Guardians of the Galaxy, I waited until I found this on discount. So I'll probably wait for Volume 5, which is the final volume of the oversized hardcovers, and to find it somewhere at a discounted price. Here's all the variants and the extras in the back. Mainly, sure, I justify it because I love the artwork in this book. That's why I get these. Then we've got Hell on Earth Volume 4. This is BPRD. And again, this is one of the ones that has that. That's what it looks like on the inside. In this particular hardcover, it collects the trade paperbacks 10, 11, and 14. I know 12 and 13 and 15, which is the final one, are all part of Volume 5. So you'll be getting that later on. I've not read any of this. As a matter of fact, I'm still on Volume 2. So I don't want to flip too much through here. I don't want to spoil anything for myself. And also, I'm really disappointed that we don't have a Lobster Johnson Omnibus yet. Or I'm sorry, a hardcover edition of that. Where the hell is that? Come on, Dark Horse. You know people are buying these things up because Volume 3 is getting harder and harder to find for some reason. So here is BPRD, Volume 4, Hell on Earth. Probably one of my favorite books I got. This is from In Stock Trades. This is Supersons. Just do a quick little glance at it since I'm reviewing it with the Omnibus. This is what the inside looks like. This collects most of... I want to say most because their run wasn't over because they still had that 12-issue maxi series, The Adventures of the Supersons. Or I can't remember what the title ended up being. But anyway, this collects the Supersons 1 through 16, Annual number 1, the Supersons and Dynamite number 1, Superman 10 through 11, that's the Rebirth title, and the Holiday Special number 1. Actually, it's just one of the short stories from Holiday Special number 1. I love this freaking omnibus. This is amazing. I can't wait for my kids to read it, and my wife already told me that she's the one up next in line to read this book. I freaking love the characters of Jonathan and Damian together, and this book works in all kinds of levels. Now, if you're curious to see what the content of that Conan the Barbarian Omnibus is, I did do a video of that, so if you want to check that out, don't forget to click on the link up above to see that. If not, if you've already seen that, let's check out this amazing Transformers IDW Collection Phase 2, Volume 8. Probably one of my favorite comic books ongoing titles that just recently ended with the Unicron saga. And of course that ended in Phase 3, so I'm hoping that IDW does the right thing and keeps continuing these all the way to Phase 3, because I love these hardcovers. I can't get enough of them, and I'll look at another hardcover here in a second. But this is just absolutely gorgeous. The artwork, James Roberts' run on Lost Light, Robots in the Skies before it became Lost Light. That was in Phase 3. And just awesome superheroics and space hijinks. So, I mean, how could you not love that? With this wonderful artwork here. You know, very cartoonish at times, but then very realistic. I cannot wait to dive into this. I've done an overview of these, pricing these books before. Is that oh, hell yes. We got Japanese characters in here that have never appeared in the American TV shows. I mean, what is there not to love? If you're a fan of Transformers, of the cartoon, of the movies, of the Bayformers, why the hell are you not reading these books? In these videos, I never take the chance to complain about some of the books that I get. This is one of the times I'm going to do that, because I got this damn book from Amazon. New. I had it pre-ordered for months, and I had a coupon. That's why I got it from there. And this is how it came. They shipped it in a freaking envelope, and that's how it came. Busted up. This is, by the way, Turtles, the IDW Collection, Volume 8. The TMNT years. I love this book, too. I just went on about the Transformers. So, yes, this is how it came. So thanks, Amazon. So hell no. If you know anything about me, I called their asses up and demanded a new copy be shipped via next day. That's just the way I am. That's ridiculous. And they were like, sure, as long as you ship the other book back. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna waste my time. I sound like a freaking prick. Sorry, but I'm not gonna waste my time shipping this back because all I'm gonna do is throw it away. But before I threw it away, I wanted to, unless one of you guys wants it and pays for shipping, then this is all yours, by the way. So first comment, seriously, if you want this, it's yours. You just pay for shipping. I don't care. I will make sure it goes in a box and not in a freaking envelope. 2 days later, they shipped me this book. And I'm glad they did, because I was going to go on a freaking rampage. So sometimes I can be a big first world problems baby. Anyway, this collects the Bebop and Rocksteady Destroy Everything miniseries. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. This kicks off that ongoing series, issues 1 through 8. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issues 65 and 66. So just 2 issues of the regular series. So not a lot. A volume 9 with Slash has already been solicited. So we know that's coming, and I've already got that pre-ordered elsewhere, not at Amazon, because I have learned my lesson. I mean, I could still take a gamble from time to time. I'm not saying everybody ships it the same way from Amazon, but I've just had some bad experiences lately, and these books are way too expensive, and I get too aggravated, and I don't want to waste time on the phone anymore. But anyway, I just wanted to share that little quick Amazon story with you before I go on to the next book that I got from Barnes & Noble, which is a different story altogether. And that is Tokyo Ghoul, this box set right here. This is the complete series. I found this at Barnes & Noble. It was on one of the Facebook groups had posted that it was on sale for like 66 bucks. So I went ahead and got it. So let's crack this open and see what this box set is like. You know, I think this is the first time I've ever gotten a box set from a manga series that I've been curious about. Because what ends up happening is I'm already getting the series, so I don't need the box sets. Like, I already have all the Full Metal Alchemist, all the Naruto or One Piece that I need, so I miss out on the box sets, and I've always been curious as to how these are made. Okay, so we have a little Velcro there. Let's see how this looks here. Oh, heck, yeah, that's nice. And then we have all 14 volumes, and I think that's all you get in here. So let's pull out volume 1 to take a quick look at this. So it's a little bigger. I didn't know that. They're bigger than your standard manga size books. I saw the anime and I really enjoyed it, so I was curious as to how the manga compared. And I can't wait to read this. I know there was like an oversized Barnes & Noble edition hardcover, but, you know, for 66 bucks for all 14 volumes, and I've never read the manga, why the hell not? Take a gamble. And I did. And that's what the inside looks like when you take all the books out, and you get a double-sided mini poster. And that is Tokyo Ghoul. So keep an eye out on those places like Barnes & Noble. Sometimes they'll have a sale. And that was my haul for the month of January of 2019. Other than this flub up here by Amazon, everything was pretty good, and a pretty good deal on Tokyo Ghoul. So let me know in the comments down below what you ended up getting for this month, and what you plan on getting for next month. And speaking of next month, I plan on doing another one of those upcoming graphic novels, and I'm going to do it monthly from now on, because people seem to enjoy those. So, on this channel here in a couple days, I'll do the upcoming books coming out in February. Thank you again for joining me. Again, this was Omar, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.